He's an Everton fan. All right, Nave?
All right, Nave.
Hi, lads. How you doing?
All right, Nave.
I'm all right, mate. You?
Yeah, good, thanks.
You're not on holiday, are you, Nave?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. All right, go on then, mate.
Go on, you got a story for us?
Yeah, so I went to high school with Raheem Sterling and a few other players from Liverpool as well. But, I mean, like, he was just unbelievable. Like, you could see that he was just miles ahead of everyone else. Even, like, the other people that have turned out to be pros as well.
What high school did Raheem go to?
So it was Rainhill in Merseyside. It was just when he'd moved from QPR to Liverpool.
Oh, he just moved there, right? Okay, just moved there, right? So he
Yeah,
moved.
so
He
I was
moved up
about
there.
14, 15.
Right, go on him. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
I mean, when did he start playing? He was 17, 18?
Yeah, but like
He was a baby. He was a kid.
He was young, wasn't he? So, I mean, he must have been at a completely different level to
yeah,
that
something
age.
like that.
Right.
When he actually got into the first team, yeah.
So go on. What was he like then? So
Oh my
so
God,
what year
honestly, it
was? So what year
ridiculous.
did he
Like,
move there?
You
'Cause
couldn't get the ball off him, and like the strength.
Yeah, go on.
I think it was like year 8 in high school, year 8, year 9.
Yeah. High school? When you say
Like,
high school?
Literally
Secondary
just
school?
couldn't get the ball off him, and it was like we had some good players in our school already. Yeah.
Yeah. So he moved as a young kid. He came from QPR when he was in the youth team, right? That's then he moved up to Merseyside.
They must have paid a decent fee for him, right? At that age.
I don't know if they paid a lot, you know, mate. I don't think they did.
No?
No, not for what he was eventually went for.
Mm.
You know, he went for what?
What do you make of him at the moment, the Sterling situation? Because I kind of feel like he's been let down a little bit by Chelsea, isn't he? Or do you think he's just not been good enough?
Well, I think there's something to say that the fact that he hasn't really been the player that I hoped he would be at Chelsea.
Mm.
I think he's.
Did you ever think he was gonna be the player?
I was totally in favour of the move.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. I was always a huge fan of Raheem. Always felt that he could make things happen, and he has. I think if you spoke to Raheem, I think he'd probably say to you, "I've not been as good as I felt I should be. He's not delivered what he can. He's not been at the levels we saw at City, and at Liverpool for that matter as well. By the way, he's not reached those heights." And
He's got 100 goals in the Premier League.
Oh, he's a Premier League legend.
I wouldn't say he's a legend.
Oh, I think when you get to 100, you get the 100 club, mate. You're doing something right. And he ain't a goal scorer. He's a wide
Is he going to
player.
go down as a legend?
Maybe not legend. Maybe I've over-egged it a little bit on that occasion, right?
Yeah.
But when you're in the 100 club, you're doing something right. And he ain't a striker. Do you know, you think of the 100 club, you're thinking of like...
Yeah, Dwight York,
you know,
Andy Cole.
Yeah, you're thinking of those types, Sheringham, the strikers, right? Frank Lampard, Bentley, right? Right? I'm telling you, right? They're all strikers. So he ain't an out-and-out striker, Raheem. But the problem we've got right now is that he is on a huge salary, and there's 3 years left on his deal. Somewhere between 60 and 70 million pound his contract's worth.
Really?
So there or there. He's on three. From what we know, he's on about over 300 grand a week. Let's be conservative. Let's be conservative.
He's on 250.
No, let's say he's over. Let's say conservative over the next 3 years. Let's say it's 55, 60 million. Let's say that, right? That's a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy.
And I don't have a problem at all if a club wants to move a player out. I've been there. You would have been there.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. You're surplus to requirements. You're no longer needed. Your salary and your age, whatever you are, you don't fit where we're moving now. If Raheem Sterling...
Yeah, but did Tom Bowley buy him?
He did buy him.
Right, so how can he then argue that he wants to move him on? He gave him the contract.
No. But this happens all the time.
Yeah, I know, but then, you can't...
But this happens all the time.
Why do you have to treat a player like dirt?
Because that's what happens, Jay.
No, I know, but...
Jay, it happened to me.
I know, but you're 54.
talkSPORT treat me like that. No, seriously. I've been there.
They're treating all their players like dirt, though, Chelsea. They're
they're not.
Joke. Well, they are.
No, they're not. They're not.
Oh, Jace, come on, mate. You got your captain last season. You binned him off to Atletico.
But Jay,
we didn't even let him train with the first team.
Jay, it's brutal industry, football. It's a horrible...
That's not how you
there's
treat
no loyalty.
people, though.
Mate, if you want loyalty, get a dog. It's true. In football...
I know, but there is a way of dealing with people and a way of treating people.
Roy Keane left Man United. The way that David Beckham was treated by Real Madrid. Come on. It goes on. And it happened before, will happen now, will happen after, right? And all it is at the moment, Chelsea are in for a good kicking because there's always a Chelsea are right because of the way things are being done. Oh, why do you care about Raheem Sterling? When was the last time you cared about Raheem Sterling?
I don't care about him, but I care about player welfare and the way they've treated the player.
He's
Come
on
on.
350 grand a week. Come on, whether you like it or not, and I'm not saying it's right. What I am saying is, this is football. It's happened before. Happened before I was a pro. Happened before you're a pro. During our pro, and it will happen again.
Do you have a problem with him coming out and saying, "Well, I'm not happy with this"?
I find it odd.
Why?
So what? So a player's left out of a squad, and then his representative gone. Want to know what's going on? What, making it public? Yes, I'm not sure that's fair. I'm not sure that's right. So every time a player's left out of a match squad, what about Ramsdale? Right? What happened with him?
Yeah.
Right? What about if his representative made a statement saying...
his dad did, didn't he? His dad come out and was,
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, I get that.
Come on, it's professional
signing
football.
all these players, you're telling me, Sterling... You're telling me Sterling can't offer what João Felix can offer?
But that's irrelevant, what you think and what I think. It's what they think. It's what they think.
But they signed him.
They signed him, but that was 2 years ago. Things have changed. Football changes. Look at Lukaku at Man United. Couldn't wait to get rid of him. They signed him. Chelsea, Lukaku, couldn't wait to get rid of him. It's happened before, it's happened again. It happens all the time in football. High-profile cases like Raheem will catch the headlines, and because it's Chelsea, catches the headlines. I'm not saying it's right, because I've been there. I know how terrible it is to be literally ostracised and want you out the club. I've been there. We've all been there, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah.
But did you want to release a statement? Sit down with the club. Where's my future? And the problem that Chelsea have got is they've got high owners. Chilwell's one of them.
But I think if you're getting treated like dirt these days, players have got a platform to come out and say what they think.
Well, fine, say it.
So you can't have a go at him for coming out and saying, right, I get, listen, I agree with you. Ain't been good enough. And their argument to him coming out saying, I want answers, well, you ain't been good enough.
If Raheem Sterling scored 30 goals a season, mate, we wouldn't be in this position. Now, I'm over, I'm exaggerating the point to prove the point, right? Raheem has not been at the level. I thought he might have started against City, because actually when he come off the bench against Inter in the pre-season friendly, I thought he looked sharp. I thought he looked good. He's 29. He's still got a lot to offer. He's got 3 years on his contract. The problem that everyone has got, he's on a huge salary. The club have got on that contract. He's in the box seat. He can sit there and put his feet up for 3 years. He can do what... who's the Chelsea player that did that? Oh, no, the Dutch player. I can't remember his name now.
I know, yeah, I can't remember who you're talking about. I know you mean. He sat on his deal for 5 years or something.
And he was entitled to do that. Chelsea gave him the contract.
Yeah. Of course you are.
And he was entitled to.
But he's not going to want to do that.
Bogart, that's it. Right,
but he's not going to want to do that, Sterling.
No,
he's going to want to play.
No, and the club want to get him off the wage bill. And there's ways of getting a player out of a contract.
Yeah, pay him what you owe.
Pay him,
leave.
Pay him, and then move him on. That can happen. There's ways of doing it. But do you know what? Chelsea right now are coming in for a bit of a kick-in because the way we're signing players, and it might feel from the outside looking. I'm not got any privileged information here, right? No. I think when the conversation will take place when the transfer window shuts. Right? If Connor goes, if Raheem goes, if Ben Chilwell goes, all these big earners, you want to try and make space. I'm not a massive fan of Felix. I've said that at the time, right? I'm not a huge fan. I didn't feel he delivered enough. Yeah. Technically, great player. It catches the eye because he does things on the ball and doesn't do enough in the final third for me. But I'll see what happens. I'll reserve my judgment again. But, who cares? This happens all the time in football, mate. I've seen it. I've seen it done to players stuck in the reserves, stuck with the stiffs, want rid of the player. They treat you like a piece of you-know-what. They will do it. It's happened before. Okay. Raheem is not the first and he won't be the last.
Okay, all right, you can have your say on that if you're a Chelsea fan. Get involved in this show. We're going to be hearing from Andy Goldstein hopefully very soon as well, and we'll carry on having your chats about when you've been found out. 03 717 223344.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.